Well, even as spring sports reach their championship conclusions, the efforts to address unruly fan behavior, in particular among adults, continues unabated by the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Bill Benner has more in this week's Inside Indiana Sports. Bill.
Gary, thanks. Well, it seems that hardly a week goes by when we don't read or especially see via a viral video of an incident instigated by an adult at a high school or youth sporting event. But the IHSAA, like many state associations, is trying to lessen such behavior through a messaging campaign called the Face of Sportsmanship. And joining us today to discuss, we welcome the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Bobby Cox. And Bobby, always good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, Bill.
We're talking on the air. I thought, well, maybe it's just because we live in this video social media age that perhaps we just see it more often. But you actually think that things have gotten worse.
I do think things have gotten worse, only because I think our society is more brazen than it ever has been. People take things personally now. We've had fans yelling at officials for years. That's nothing new, but it's become more personal. And so it's heightened our awareness about how we deal with officials, how we protect them. And it's also caused a lot of our officials to leave the vocation. And so now it creates a shortage of officials, and we have to have officials for young people to play these games. And so we're working on this, and we're addressing adult behavior specifically.
Yeah, and again, that's the obvious threat is, why would you want to get in this as a high school official? The money's not that great.
Right.
You do it more for love, probably, for the sport than anything.
You do it to give back.
Yeah.
And these officials who work our contest across 22 sports, they do it to give back to the sport that they participated in at some point in time, or just because of the love of the sport. And so because of that, we need to make sure the environment is healthy. It also is important because we're trying to teach young people life lessons. This is an education-based environment, and so when we're doing that, we want to make sure that it's a positive environment.
And you talk, I mean, the student athletes themselves, this is disturbing to them, perhaps more than anybody.
If you ask student athletes, absent of parents and absent of adults, they will tell you that they are embarrassed by some of the behavior that occurs in the stands at some of our contests. And we've had contests that have been shut down because of incidences that have occurred in the stands, where we have stopped the game, sent the schools to the locker room, and cleaned up the messes in the bleachers. That's not the way education-based athletics should be.
So talk about the Face of Sportsmanship. I mean, the messaging and what you're hoping to impact.
Well, the Face of Sportsmanship started with the notion that everybody who's participating in the contest needs to exhibit good sportsmanship, whether that be a player or coach, whether that be an official. All of us have a responsibility. But the extension of that is the fan. And the fact is, we've got fan ejections are up 75% across our state, to the point where our executive committee has instituted a bylaw that when a fan gets ejected from a contest, they are now suspended for the next home contest at their school. We need to get our arms around this. This is for young people. This is an opportunity to learn and grow. And subsequently, we're going to address it head on and message parents and adults that we need to be better role models.
And again, this is a national problem, just not isolated in Indiana. Bobby, as we wrap up, speaking of national, the National Federation of High School Associations based here in Indianapolis, getting ready to have its 100th summer meeting in Indianapolis will host, and so that's a big deal.
We're really excited. The IHSAA is the state host institution for that event. It's the 100th summer meeting. A lot of great events planned, including the National High School Hall of Fame annual banquet, in which Indiana will have two inductees, Bob Gardner, the former executive director of the NFHS and a commissioner at the IHSAA, and Damon Bailey. So we're excited about that, and it'll be a wonderful celebration for the Federation.
Well, and again, I know spring sports are wrapping up, but the work never stops at the IHSAA headquarters. And so, Bobby, thanks for coming on the show. And folks, if you're out there, it's just a game, right?
It's just a game. It's a game for kids.
That's a game for kids. Bobby, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you,
Gary, back to you.